Don't happen no make una see wetin dey play out for Enugu State yo. Make una see say Peter Mba he don use force o. He don go carry Fulani herdsmen, their foot soldiers wey dey initiate into military abi I mean wetin dey call am abi into soldiers to dey kpai his own people simply because they went on the street to protest. My question is to this government. My question is to this so-called Nigeria government. Is it that people have no any single right to protest or to demand for their own right in their own country? Nigeria happens to be only country that the indigenes or the original owner of the land does not have any single human right or whatsoever. You protest, you are being killed. You go to court, which supposed to be the last hope of a common man, they use the money to do what? To overturn the judiciary, and the case will be against you. You that is being the complainant will turn out to be the accuser. Anyway, make una see wetin dey play out for Enugu State o. Ekpa, he don ask traders to say make dem go open their shop by fire by force. Say he must deal with Peter Mba for shooting protesters who protested that their shops are being locked because they didn't obey, because they obeyed the sit at home on Mondays. Anyway, my wonderful people, please, before I proceed, I want to use this opportunity to do what? To tell you people, TGIF, thank God it is Friday. Now so the thing dey. It shock you, Abi? Make it not shock you. More shocks is coming because the news you are going to hear from me now, my dear brothers, is going to be fire for fire. Fire. Abeg, give me water. Let me quench this fire before the thing go consume Mazi Simon Ekpa. Enugu State protester. Before I proceed, abeg, don't forget to subscribe. Oh yeah, subscribe now. Like, share, and comment for more interesting and blockbustering broadcast. According by me, Simon Ekpa, a popular Biafra agitator and a separatist, had asked Enugu traders to open their businesses, whether the government like it or not. Whether the government they can shut their shop, but they must open their business. According to their prime minister or their self-acclaimed prime minister, Ekpa. People have died on this. So 3 people have been fired on this thing. All he can say is that to send him the details of people that died. What are you going to do with them? Or more possibly, why not tell them to send you also their bodies to Finland so that you can cook it and eat? Because it seems like this is what you enjoy doing, causing confusion and causing death to people. You are telling them to send a message to whatever, or email to whatever. Even our 8 parents who cannot operate a phone or know how to operate emails in the villages, they should send you email. Ketekpa wabukweu, monkey. Ekpa, the Finland-based lawyer and Prime Minister of the Republic of Biafra, government in exile, declared this on Thursday in a public notice cited by the Daily Post. Daily Post reported that 3 persons have been killed and others injured when traders took to the streets Wednesday morning protesting the sealing of their shops by the state government for not opening for businesses on Mondays. Consequently, Ekpa asked protesting traders in Enugu to provide details of those killed and injured for immediate medical intervention, including their dead bodies. They should provide it for you. We call on Biafra traders in Enugu to make available, send the details of all injured traders and those that lost their lives to the Nigerian government during the protest. Their loved ones and their families should send contact details to Biafran government at info Biafra Republic Government in Exile.org for immediate intervention by the government of Biafra. Those injured will be provided with immediate medical treatment, while the Biafran government will contact the families of those that lost their loved ones, and the government plan will not be made public. We call on Biafrans to open their shops, businesses, and also supply us with helpful information about the killers about the killers and those locking their shops instead. As if you don't know that their shops are being locked by Peter Mba. I ask, Ekpa, what do you really want? Is to supply you these information about their killers. Okay, they are being killed by military men. Assemble your own military as well, just like Asari Dokubo did, and go and fight them back. As simple as that. You are asking questions that you know the answers. That they should supply. Maybe you should also tell them to give you the faces of those people who killed them. And just like the Igbo adage that says, "Onyebeya na walk out that okay." I mean, you are trying to do like Nigerian police. When thieves invade your house, you call Nigerian police. They will ask you how many of them. Do you see their faces? How many guns are they carrying? How many is inside and outside? And I ask, how can somebody be counting the numbers of robbers that invade your house? Even when they tell you your face, you lie down. Or maybe possibly you hide somewhere and making those calls. And they will tell you to begin to check on their faces to know them. You are telling them that they should send you the names of those or information of those that killed them. Maybe the dead body can wake up and also speak and tell you that look at the person that shot me. If take your time, he added that Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State will face consequence of human rights abuses, according to him. Another one we have here, this one is seized at home. CSOs condemn use of force against protesters and demand compensation for victims. The Enugu Network of Civil Society Organization, ESNET, has condemned the use of force by the Enugu State government in the enforcement of a ban on a sit-at-home order by the Simon Ekpa-led faction of Indigenous People of Biafra, IPOB. The group said the state government's approach is not the best practice, insisting that it runs counter to democratic norms. The network also demanded that the government rescind its order and unseal the shops of victims in the interest of justice, peace, integrity, and honor, and stop using force and intimidation to secure compliance to the ban, insisting that the approach continues an aberration to democracy. The ESNET position was made known on Thursday in a statement jointly signed by the comrades Osmond Ugu and Ugonna Ozo, the chairman and secretary of the network, respectively. The organization maintained that the action of sealing off of shops of traders who voluntarily decided not to open shops on Mondays goes contrary to democratic principles. These are not enforcers of things at home. These are not the people that call the things at home. They are simply obeying, not really obeying, but simply to avoid being attacked or killed by hoodlums. You force them to go to businesses on Mondays without not providing adequate security measures to guide them before these attackers. Yet, when they do not come to shop, you will force them that they must come to shop or your shop will be locked. You lock their shops, they didn't break the shop. They only go to the street to exercise their civil rights as a citizen of Nigeria or as a citizen of Biafra land. You went and used force. You went and command the police and the military that are the enemies of Biafrans, that are looking a way to eliminate the Biafrans. And they did the unthinkable. And you tell me that you will go to your bed and you sleep with your two eyes closed? Despite the fact I'm not supporting the sit at home. But your anger or whatever you are doing is supposed to go on the one that is forcing sit at home and the enforcers on ground. Not an ordinary traders that knows nothing, that simply because of their life decide to stay at home. You see their shops. When they go to the streets, you hire an armed men to kill them, and a lot of people have been injured. And you want us to please you or to clap for you. Thank God that your matter is still at the tribunal, election petition tribunal. And I pray that you will never win that from that tribunal. Somebody else or someone else will take over that your office. Since you are done barely 2 months in office, you start to murder your own people, your own state people. Nonsense. Recall that Governor Peter Mba have ordered the sealing of shops of traders who continue to observe the sit-at-home order of the IPOB. Some traders in Enugu on Wednesday protested against the government directive. 2 people were reported dead when the security operatives reported open fire, live bullets, on an armed protesters. Attracting wide condemnation by many residents of the state. Meanwhile, the NSNET has called on the government to locate the families of the casualties of the protest and pay them the necessary compensation arising from the loss of lives. And I asked, will this thing bring back the dead? The answer is no. Peter Mba, when it reaches the time for you to enjoy your kids, all of them will be dropping one after the other. For doing this to your own people, to your own fellow Igbos, using Fulani foot soldiers called military and police to harass and manhandle them and kill them. Your reward will never depart from this earth. You must surely get your reward. And the reward is pain. The network also urged the government to ensure that those who sustain injuries are treated and paid the necessary compensation as damage occasioned by the action of the state government. Part of the statement read, Enugu Network of Civil Society Organization has keenly watched and followed events regarding the enforcement of ban on sit-at-home ordered by the government or governor of Enugu State, which culminated in the loss of lives of people on Wednesday, July 26, 2023, at Ogbete Main Market, Enugu, and wishes to state as follows. Inasmuch as we appreciate the economic implications of the sit-at-home to residents and the peoples of the Southeast, now, Enugu State, the approach of use of force by the residents, by the Enugu State government is not the best practice, and it runs counter to democracy norms. That the government of Enugu State should locate the families of the casualties of the protest and pay them the necessary compensation arising from the loss of lives, while those that sustain injuries are to be treated and paid necessary compensations and damages sustained in the course of the protest occasioned by the action of the state government. That the government of Enugu State should rescind its conditions for unsealing of those shops and unseal the shops in the interest of justice, peace, integrity, and honor, and stop using force and intimidation to secure compliance to the ban as approaches constitute aberrations to democracy. Democracy requires persuasion and dialogue and not intimidation, according to the CSOs. Niger Republic military rule must be resisted, according to our brother Shehu Sani. Former lawmaker Shehu Sani has kicked against military rule, insisting it must be totally rejected and restrained in West Africa. Sani, in a post via his verified Twitter handle on Thursday, maintained that the military rule cannot be the solution. Daily Post report that soldiers had overthrown Niger's government following an apparent coup on Wednesday when members of the Presidential Guard detained President Mohamed Bazoum. However, the lawmaker said he understood the disappointment and frustration with the political class, but insisted that military rule could not be the alternative. Then which one could be the alternative? For the masses to keep on wallowing in poverty while the so-called lawmakers and the governors and the president keep on using the commonwealth of the people for their own selfish interests, for their own selfish and stomach infrastructures, and you tell them not to revoke. I pray that Nigeria will not get to this extent very soon, because what people are passing through is nothing to write home about. He wrote, military rule must be totally rejected and resisted in West Africa. Our democracy is not perfect, and there is no perfect democracy anywhere. Military rule is not the solution. I am surprised to read comments on social media. It appears that many young people are now in support of it. I understand the disappointment and frustration with the political class. It is still better we continue to struggle to make our democracy better until we get it right. Well, you have spoken well. Buhari's ex-minister, Lai Mohammed, gets another appointment. The former Minister of Information, Culture and Tourism of Nigeria, Lai Mohammed, has been named Special Advisor to Zurab Police Shakaville, the Secretary General of the United Nations World Tourism Organization. The announcement was made at the start of the 66th UN WTO Commission for Africa in Mauritius. Mohammed brings 7 years of active engagement with UNWTO, having played critical roles in various functions of the global tourism body. So you people invited him. That means you people enjoy the line, like keep on lying in Nigerian government, right? Well, no be on a fault now. No be on a fault. We're gonna continue to encourage impunity in Nigeria. Femi Fani-Kayode and the Festus Akpamo, including the Ganduje and other APC chieftains, missing from Tinubu's ministerial list. You think Tinubu is set out? Akpamo is set out, and Festus Akpamo, Femi Fani-Kayode is also set out. Well, even if their principal is set out, but at least now the chaff have been separated from the grain. All these noise makers here and there. Femi Fani-Kayode, how far? Festus Akpamo, they will. After many speculations, Bola Tinubu's ministerial nominee list was unveiled on Thursday, July 27, at the chamber of the Nigerian Senate. Nigerian news, however, observed that names of some Poverty Congress APC chieftains who were expected to form part of President Bola Tinubu's cabinet were conspicuously missing from the ministerial list read out to lawmakers on Thursday by the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio. Only Alake was chosen among the duo that keep on terrorizing everybody. Bayo Ononuga, where are you? Mao. Festus Akpamo, Olewe, Ketekboy, FFK, my hungry lion. How far now? Before the grand announcement at the Senate plenary yesterday, speculations have been flying about that the lives of former aviation minister Femi Fani-Kayode, former minister of labor and employment Festus Akpamo, and the immediate past governor of Kano State Abdullahi Ganduje and other APC chieftains would make Tinubu's ministerial nominee list. However, the APC chieftains who were among those that fought for Tinubu's victory during the February 25th presidential election were conspicuously missing from the ministerial nominee list. Aside from the trio, some other APC stalwarts and top politicians, including Bayo Ononuga, Dimeji Bankole, Rabiu Kwankwanso, and Boyega Oyetela, who were hitherto speculated as nominees, were also missing from the 28 names read today by Godswill Akpabio. Tinubu, however, stated that in the letter delivered to the Senate today through his chief of staff, Femi Gbajabiamila, that more nominees may emerge subsequently. This publication reported earlier that Gbajabiamila, a former Speaker of the House of Representatives, appeared at the state or Senate chamber during the executive season to deliver Tinubu's ministerial nominee list to Godswill Akpabio. DSS operatives allegedly arrest a popular Imo journalist. A famous broadcast journalist, Chinonso Uba, popularly known as Nonso Nkwa, has been allegedly arrested by suspected operatives of the Department of State Service, DSS, in Owerri, Imo State. Courtesy of Hope Uzodimma, we know. Nigerians report that Oba was arrested on Thursday in Owerri by gun-wielding plainclothes men suspected to be operatives of the secret police shortly after he finished anchoring his morning program on Ozisa FM Owerri. Confirming the incident, the manager of Ozisa FM, Reverend Father Raymond Nzerogo, said he was yet to ascertain if the journalist was arrested or kidnapped. He said, "We don't know if he was arrested or kidnapped. We have reached out to the State Security Service, SSS, people, and they said that they were not responsible. We are heading to the police to confirm. We will keep you posted on any further development." The eyewitnesses said he was taken away from the premises of Assumpta Cathedral of the Owerri Catholic Archdiocese, sorry to say. It was gathered that Oba was driving in his car when the attackers double-crossed him in front of the Holy Ghost College Secondary School. This one is supposed to be kidnapping now, not arrest. Double-crossed. He couldn't wait for him. He couldn't even go to arrest him at his house or where he hosts the morning program. But he was double-crossed. That is kidnapped. An eyewitness told Sahara reporters that the gunmen operated in a Hilux vehicle, a Lexus 350, and another identified as ES 330 Lexus as well. His vehicle was abandoned at the scene as people rushed in an attempt to rescue him, but were scared away by the attackers. The source said, "Unknown people armed with AK-47 rifles have abducted my colleague, Theodore Chinonso Uba Nonsonkwa of Ozisa 96.1 FM, Owerri. This was 30 minutes ago in front of the Maria Assumpta Cathedral, Owerri, on his way out after work this morning." Eyewitnesses said they looked like police or DSS as they blocked him off with not less than 2 vehicles at the entrance of the cathedral. Another source said he was being very critical of Governor Hope Uzodinma as well as the killings in Imo State. I know Hope have hands in what is happening to this guy, and that is the people they are campaigning to come back for the second time. He resisted them as he was shouting they wanted to kill him before he was taken away in one of their vehicles. His jeep was not taken away alongside him. They were all dressed in black and blue attires, carrying guns while they were masked. They prevented people from making video of the incident. Let nothing happen to him, please, according to the general public. Why my father stopped attending social gathering after he became a judge, Charlie Boy laments. The veteran Nigerian entertainer Chukwuemeka Charles Oputa, popularly known as Charlie Boy or area father, has opened up on how his late father, Chukwudife Oputa, way of life changed after he became a judge of the Federation. According to the veteran, in the 1960s, when his father was simply a successful lawyer in Port Harcourt, he was always seen in different social gatherings celebrating. However, Charlie Boy stated that after his father became a judge in 1965, he stopped attending social functions or gatherings. When his father was questioned on the reason for changing, the elderly Oputa told his children that judges ought to abstain from public life totally. Charlie Boy lamented that judges of these days no longer stick to that kind of mantra. Rather, they even attend the nightclubs. That is our judges. Speaking via Twitter, the entertainer wrote, "I remember in the 1960s, when my father was a successful lawyer in Port Harcourt, every day seemed like Xmas because he was always celebrating one thing or the other. As soon as he was made a judge in 1965, everything changed. He hardly attended any social functions. The house parties suddenly ceased. When my siblings and I queried him as to the sudden change, he would give us a long lecture on how judges should completely abstain from public life. That was then. They don't make them like that anymore," according to Chukwuemeka Charles Oputa. Peter Obi speaks on fake photo with a fractional IPOB leader, Simon Ekpa. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023 general elections, Peter Obi, has disowned a viral photo showing him with a Finland-based Biafra agitator, Simon Ekpa. Ekpa, a Nigerian who resides in Finland, has been calling for a seat at home in the southeast to protest the continued detention of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. In a viral image, co-founder of the Bring Back Our Girls movement and supporter of the former Anambra governor, Aisha Yusuf, is seen in the background. The Obidati media office, in a statement signed by Diran Onifade on Thursday, said the picture was photoshopped from one Obi took with a supporter on Virgin Atlantic aircraft on July 21. The statement reads, Obidat media office knows that the scenario is exactly what played out in the Photoshop picture of presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi, supposedly standing with a Finland-based irritant Biafra agitator, Simon Ekpa, in all desperate move to drag Obi's name into this dispute by linking him with the ugly story that Ekpa has become in Nigeria. For clarity, the picture was taken by Obi standing with an admirer on a Virgin flight on Friday, July 21, 2023, and trying to authenticate their filthy and disgustingly dirty act. They inserted the picture of Aisha Yusuf behind them. The memory may be short to forget that Obi was the first to describe the sit at home as an act being engineered and bridged by criminal that the system has refused to squarely tackle. Now that the menace of this crime is becoming manifest, even to attract the views of the nation's parliament, it may necessarily be critically studied the handling of this very particular crime. Festus Akpamụ has been mocked as he misses out on President Tinubu's ministerial list. Former Minister of State and Employment, or State for Labour and Employment, Festus Akpamụ, has been mocked after his name failed to make the list of ministerial nominees forwarded by the Bola Ahmed Tinubu to the Senate in the wee hours of Thursday. After shouting finish, after embarrassing everybody, how do you think Tinubu will consider him as a minister? Whereby he took Tinubu to court 1999 when he was then the governor of Lagos State. Recall that the chief of staff to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Femi Gbajabiamila, presented the ministerial nominee list before the Senate 2 days before the president's deadline as stipulated by the Constitution as amended by the 9th Assembly. Nigerians learned that popular economist Oluwale Edun, former governor Nyesom Wike, Adebayo Adelebu, Ale Pate, and Nasir El-Rufai made the list, amongst others. However, what caught the attention of Nigerians on social media is the name of Festus Akpamụ, which was conspicuously missing from the ministerial nominees submitted today, although it is unsure if the name of the former minister will appear in the supplementary list, as the one unveiled by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio is not exhaustive. The All Poverty Congress APC chieftain is faced with mockery for not making the first list. Below is how Nigerians react to this. Abdullahi Olaruwaju wrote, "This is too tough. He deserved more. Gasekia." Ekpa replying to man like you, someone that didn't win his polling unit for APC. Replying, one Tigbe, Eda Festus, ni handicap new, according to this writer. And King Laji wrote, "Let me say this for the third time. At Festus Akpamụ, you you no go end well. This is just the beginning. Ugbefi wrote, the European Union certified fake news merchant with zero social currency is of no value to the Agbado nation. Is now at the same level with Deji, Sega, and Renault. Inconsequential clowns with no integrity, according to this writer. Onojan Amos wrote, Baba was hoping to be smuggled in. He down finally on him 3 days ago. Since then, at Facebook Akpamo has slowed down his post about BAT. He has relegated himself to only retweets. Don't worry, Akpamo. You will be given a higher post, maybe President of Niger Republic. Was he expecting to be on the list? Absolutely now, cannot. Now, errand boy him be, according to them. Anyway, my wonderful people, if I continue reading this, I will keep on going on and on and on. But let us do what? Let us cut it off here. And we'll continue with other news. The INEC chairman that turned Nigeria youth upside down is now reveals why election riggers go unpunished. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission that is not dependent, Mahmood Yakubu, has revealed why election riggers will continue to go unpunished in Nigeria. Yakubu said until an Electoral Offences Commission and tribunal is established to take over the prosecution of electoral offenders from the commission, riggers will continue to go unpunished in the country, including you. The INEC chairman, who made this submission at a post-election review meeting with the media executive in Abuja on Wednesday, noted that Nigeria's electoral process will remain ineffective without an appropriate body to deal with electoral offenders. He maintained that there is an urgent need for government to revisit the recommendations of electoral reforms panels headed by Justice Mohammed Wes, retired, Sheikh Ahmed Lemu, and Dr. Ken Nnamani, set up by Umaru Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan, and Muhammadu Buhari regimes, respectively, Nigeria News reports. He said, here we are. The commission is saddled with the responsibility of prosecuting electoral offenders. I have said repeatedly that in our case, some of the offenders may be INEC officials. How practicable is it for us to get ourselves prosecuted? That is why, consistently, committee upon committee have made recommendations since the Wes Committee of 2009, Lemu Committee of 2011, and Nnamani Committee of 2017, that there should be an Electoral Offences Commission to deal with all violators of electoral laws, whoever they are, whether voters, INEC officials, or ad hoc staffs. So that this is a practical concern. Some of the things we have been doing may not lead to the successful prosecution in the manner that we are dealing with them, according to the so-called INEC chairman, Mahmood Yakubu. Anyway, my wonderful people, TGIF, thank God it is a Friday. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share, comment. Make sure that this video, it goes viral. Let the world know that Peter Mba of Enugu State have turned against his own self just the same way Hope Uzodinjo turned against his own people. As a commander-in-chief of that state, supposed to take care of your people, but rather he chooses to use them as belt to satisfy the so-called their paymasters at the executive level. And that is why we are where we are today, according to my brother, or according to the former vice president, Yemi Osibanjo. He said that is why we are where we are today. Anyway, my wonderful people, my viewers and subscribers, I don't want to take much of your time, neither do I want to take mine. If you never subscribe to my channel, I don't know what you're waiting for. If you are still waiting for me to hit hammer on your head, anyway, wait for Monday hammer, because I will not hit you Tuesday hammer. I will use Monday hammer sit at home to hit you, so that you can know, or you will know that you're supposed to subscribe watching anybody's content on the social media, no matter how bad it is. There must be something you learn from watching their content, and that is why it is very, very necessary for you to subscribe, for you to like, for you to share, and for you to comment. All the very, very important and very, very necessary. In fact, I want to use this opportunity to wish each and every one of you out there happy weekend to you all. And I come your way again and still remain Okute Daily Talk. Bye for now, my wonderful people. Kemesiano.